That's right, the figures have finally arrived. Welcome back to DCC Sodor for another video. Today we're going to be unboxing the figures and seeing how they look next to the engines. A little large, but easier to handle, and I think it brings out some of the detail anyways. I know some people aren't too big of fans of the size, but I'm not upset about it. So without further ado, let's get up to the workbench and let's take a look at them. Well, it has certainly been a while since I have been up, at this view. This is, I call this the workbench. I figured this was the best place to look at the figures, just because I think looking at them down on the layout would be a little bit hectic and dropping things, and I don't want to do that. So let's get these figures unboxed. I really like the packaging. I think this is a perfect way. They mentioned this on one of the live streams. This is a good way to display them. I do also really like this design for the... Ooh, this card is really nice, actually. I like this design, HOOO scale figures. And here we have the Hat family. So let's start out with Sir Topham Hatt himself. And just to show that the base does come off pretty easily. But I'm going to leave the base on for now. At least I was going to. These are made of pretty flexible plastic too. Actually almost like rubber. But yeah, there we go. All right, so here is Sir Topham Hatt. I like the CGI style pose. And I actually think that the painting has been done really well. I mean, the eyes are, I will admit, a little funny still. But other than that, the painting is fantastic on these. And I mean, we know Bachmann usually knocks it out of the park in that regard. Here's Lady Hatt. She's crossed her arms and she's holding her little handbag on her left hand. Very nice. Here is Dowager Hatt. Dowager Hatt's probably one of my favorite of the Hatt family. Especially CGI Dowager Hatt has so much character. And she looks great as well. I'll spin her around. Very nice indeed. It would be kind of cool if we got like her Dowager Hatt's busy day outfit. I'm going to flip this around. I think that's the right way for this base. Yes. And Stephen and Bridget. I don't think that's going to be a little hard. Oh, Bridget came out first. She fell out of the package. So there's Bridget again. It's kind of hard to hold these. These figures are so small. I think she looks really good as well. And Stephen, well, he fell out too. And he's just kind of, hanging out, standing there. But again, very nice. All right. Next, let's do the farmers next. Let's get them both out at the same time. Let's move the packaging off to the side. I'm going to move that off to the side. All right. I'm not going to take a look at all the sheep, but I do. I'll show this one, Farmer McCall, Katie, and then they got a nice cute little lamb and some other sheep here, which Bachmann has said are part of the Scenescapes line, repainted to be in the Thomas line. So originally I had actually scripted this video, and when I recorded this script, I didn't have much to say on anything. So that's why I figured I'd just live unbox these and give you my, honest feedback. And they mentioned last night on the Thomas Tuesday live stream that they spent a lot of time getting Katie's shape right, and I think she looks fantastic. So there's some of the sheep, and here is Farmer McCall. He's quite tall. I think Sir Topham Hatt is like one of the shortest figures, and I think that's kind of funny. But here is Farmer McCall with his kind of, oh geez, with his eye, oh dear. He looks like he's seen some things for sure. But I do like his little hoodie with his elbow patches and then his nice galoshes on the bottom. So it looks really nice. And these bases, these do not stay in the bases very well, I'll be honest. Maybe it's just me. But, and then again, we've got a sheep lying down. We got a sheep grazing. We've got another sheep standing. Another sheep standing. Oh, that one didn't stand, actually. That one fell over. One with its head kind of crooked. And then the little lamb, which is really cute. And really small. Really, really small. Oh, baby. Anyways, Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure reference. Here we have Farmer Trotter. Another really nice pack. Okay, come on down. Okay, anyways. Here's Farmer Trotter with his shovel. Very nice figure again. He even got the stubble painted on, which looks really good. Again, he's got kind of the galoshes and then the work pants. And then all the pigs. Oh, geez, that pig's flat. Oh, because it's laying down. And there's the rest of the pigs. And we'll cut just to make it easier to deal with. There are animals literally everywhere. If you know who I'm referencing there, good on you. Anyways, next up, we're going to look at the narrow gauge personnel. Just because, oh, jeez, I'm really dropping all of them today, huh? Let's see who slides out. Well, we got Mr. Percival, the Thin Controller. He looks very nice as well with his hands behind his back, and his hands are painted really nicely. I know we kind of were like, whoa, these figures look a little derpy, but I definitely think that these turned out decently well. I really like this Blue Mountain Quarry worker with the beard and then the Blue Mountain Quarry logo. There's no letters, but it's a nice representation, and from far enough away, you'll never notice it. And it'll look great in the quarry that I am working on the layouts. And then here's the other Blue Mountain Quarry worker, which could probably stand in as a driver as well. Looks like he's got a mustache. He has like a weight mark. Let's see if I can. Looks like he has half a mustache, like he forgot to shave half of his face, because it's not there on the other side. Not sure if that's an error or if that's just kind of the way his face is. That sounds a little mean, but anyways. And just to show what one looks like without the base, it does have these two little plastic pegs, which I guess if you didn't want the base, you'd have to snip these off. So eventually I'll probably do that. And then we've got a little workman. This is one I would like to get a bunch of. So I'm kind of disappointed that it came in such a niche pack like the narrow gauge personnel. But it's not, it's not a huge problem. It sounds like Bachmann wants to do more of these if these sell, and I think they're going to sell pretty dang well. We'll see those. Next, we'll do the teacher and the children. Ooh, these ones came out easily this time. All right. So this teacher, I believe, everything here is based off the CGI series, so we don't have to worry about that. Teacher, again, very nice. Do a 360. Nice ponytail. I don't actually know if I've ever seen the back of the teacher's head, so I never knew that she had a ponytail until just now. See, I've got a little bit of green. I think the green is kind of flaking off. These bases seem like they're made out of rubber, so the green probably won't stay forever. But I do think that was a nice touch, just to display them either with the green. Here's this little boy. Oh, jeez, dropped him. Nice looking on the back, nice school uniform. I like this little girl too. She's got a ponytail. I really think these look fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This little girl, her feet do not want to go in the pegs. Actually, what are these? Oh, these figures are like made of some kind of, almost like a rubbery kind of plastic. So they should stand up. I mean, it's not like they're not made of like hard plastic, so they won't break too easily. But yeah, so there is, so it might be a little bit harder to snip off those little bases. Well, yeah, see how her legs just kind of bent like that? It's interesting. Maybe that's why she won't fit in the base. Or maybe the base was backwards and I'm an idiot. Probably the latter. Her eyes are a little funny. I'm not going to lie. But I do like her little haircut and her waving. Look good on her. She fell over again. A railway bridge waving. Then this little kind of boy with glasses. That's what I call him. And I got to fix this girl because she won't stand in her thing. Anyways, why do I keep dropping these children? There's so many out of context lines that I've said so far in this review. And here's another girl with a skirt instead of in the other school uniform like these girls. And I'm going to cut one more time, and then we'll come back to the next one. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. The railway personnel. Probably the best pack. This is definitely the one, other than the hat family, this is the one I knew that if I was going to have to cancel any of them, I couldn't cancel one of these. But I'm actually really glad I didn't, because there's a whole debacle, and I'm not going to get into why I ended up not, but I'm glad I didn't, because these are some really nice figures as well. So we've got a signalman here. I'll take him out first because he was falling out. And these are definitely like rubber on rubber, so it's kind of just friction. Like, these aren't typical HO figures, which I actually really like because they're not going to like break or anything. So these aren't figures that you would want to populate like carriages or anything with. So yeah, the signalman looks really good. I can't believe, like, they've painted all these buttons and all this really, like, fine detail. It's absolutely amazing what they've done. I believe this is I'm going to call this a porter. I believe that this is the porter uniform. It may also be a station master uniform, but I'm going to say it's a porter. I'm going to save the one in the middle for last. I'm calling this one a driver. So he will most likely fit in one of the cabs of the locomotives, and we'll look at that here in a second. This is a fireman. He doesn't have a shovel, which I really wish that, the drivers and maybe a fireman had a shovel. And here is the final figure. I'm calling this one Station Master Doug. This is, of course, based off of Bachmann's very own Doug Blaine. I think at the time they knew he was getting close to retirement, so they decided to base a figure off of him, and I can't be happier that they did, because this looks really good, and I'm sure he'll be good, great Maithwaite Station Master. So I'm going to pull Henry around here. He's kind of in a state right now. I'm doing some work on him. I'm just going to throw one of the driver figures in here. And that actually is a little too tall with the base. So without the base, I think let's pop the base off. Let's see. Oh man, this one doesn't want to come out of the base. That's good. So if you snipped the little thingies off the bottom, probably be a perfect scaling. I mean, he's kind of hanging out there. Oh my gosh, Henry just ran over the sheep. Yeah, so that'll look really good actually. And kind of here's, oh, I just knocked Lady Head over. That's not a chip off of her. This must be from something else. Unless it's off of her shoes. No. Anyways, there's Sir Topham Hatt. Henry, what are you doing? Anyways, let's get the driver back. And so I'm going to pull out, oh, geez, I forgot to stop how it was in there. I'm going to pull Henry out and let's get these a little more organized. And here they are. This is all the figures. So I couldn't get this sheep to stand up. He's kind of just like, oh, he did like a barrel roll there. And then this little lamb. Oh, I got the lamb to stand up. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, I should not have touched these. Anyways, oh no, the camera fell. And that is all of the figures. So we got the Hat family, the narrow gauge personnel, Farmer McCall and sheep, Farmer Trotter and his pigs. Oh, and I couldn't forget Katie the sheepdog. The railway personnel, and then the teacher with the school children. So definitely going to be getting these on the layout. Definitely some motivation to finish my farm scene. I can't wait to have Mr. Percival kind of hanging out, watching over his little engines. And then some of the workmen just doing some work. I'll probably put this workman at Tidmouth Sheds helping the engines. The Hat family all around. Sir Topham Hatt keeping it. I mean, I have for so many years wanted Bachmann to do figures. So I'm glad they finally came to fruition, and Sir Topham Hatt absolutely was a must. It looks great. So the next shot will be getting these down on the layout. And you'll have actually seen these before in the intro to the video. But I'm going to have to put them all back in the package and take them down to the layout. So without further ado, let's get down there. And, while I'm setting this up, I figured we'd take a look and see the difference between the capsule play rail Sir Topham Hatt, the Bachmann Sir Topham Hatt, and Sir Topham Hatt's car from Bachmann. So I think that the Sir Topham Hatt and then Sir Topham Hatt's car scale much better from Bachmann than the capsule play rail one. And I kind of, the faces are not painted on the capsule play rail ones. Okay. We've got the teacher and the school children there. Sir Topham Hatt. Some of the narrow gauge personnel figures around the rest of the Hat family. Station Master Doug, Porter. And as Thomas passes by the signal box, we see the signalman. And over here we've also got driver and fireman looking over at Gordon. And then finally, Farmer McCall, Katie, Farmer Trotter, and some of the sheep. And I still can't get that one sheep to stand up. So I'll definitely have to glue it down once I get to scenic in this part. Which I guess will probably come sooner rather than later, given now that the figures are on. I'll have some motivation to do so. So yeah, in conclusion, I'm pretty happy with the figures. Like I said, I've noticed some posts saying, they're not, they leave a little bit to be desired because of their size. But personally, I'm pretty happy with how they look. And they'll be getting some much needed use, populating some cabs. They do fit inside of Gordon and in Henry and Spencer's cab. I'm not sure about Rebecca's, as I haven't tried. But like I said, I think it'll bring some nice, much needed life to the layout. So without further ado, I'm going to say, let me know your thoughts on the figures in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know what we should do next. And this will probably come out in the middle of the night, but once I'm done editing it. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.